Alright, apparently I already recorded this whole thing once, and it didn't really record, so I'm gonna keep it a little bit shorter, because I'm kind of frustrated, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go over, like, the better moves today. Basically, on open, again, so SPY Dark Pool is a big level of interest. You have this QQQ floor on 727, this 74.45. So it's all this upside feel on SPY. It's possible that you end up front running this SPX node, especially if you hit the SPY Dark Pool, and you're going to be sticky with the 727 node on Qs. I ended up, excuse me, I apologize. I ended up getting long at like 743.30. I front ran the move, that was on me, but we did end up getting long paid. Yeah, so here, start rejecting SPY Dark Pool, front run the SPX node. And then boom, the 7500 flashing. Like, you're still fighting the 727, but still, like, everything's showing long. You have this large aggregate of long gamma that it's in the money on SPY. Got this 74.45 that as long as it stays in the money, you can see a nice little trend up. Boom. Boom. And then also you got all this upside feel on SPY with all these negative nodes. So everything is basically in your favor for longs right now, in my opinion. But I personally took longs this morning. That's the thesis I was believing, especially from the map. So here, 727 holds as the floor, pumps $1.50 on Qs, $2, boom. Then we just need to see SPY follow suit. So here the thesis was trim at 747 because it was lit up. Again, it was just letting our thesis play out from the maps. Okay, boom. So here, this is where I took all my SPY longs off, especially because QQQ is looking ceilingy. So QQQ looks like it's hitting a ceiling, especially because they moved down this 732, this 731. So this looks kind of ceilingy. So you could see a small little dump here on Qs. It could bring SPY down a little bit. That's not much of a bounce. And then they move it back up. So possibly, like, maybe this was all you get from your shorts, but it looks like they moved the node back up. You still have this 749 lighting up on SPY. I mean, you did have this 7500, but it looks like it rolled down to this floor at 7490. It's being very, it's being supported of price. So as long as we break this 747, I guess Atlas is just rage baiting. But actually, let's see. I need some more context. Okay, so 730 holds. Then they remove this ceiling. Okay. So nice little dump off the SPY node. Qs is like comparatively a lot softer than SPY here. So just Qs is the instrument to short, especially because there's this little small mini pico stack here. So this is shortable with this really big rug on SPY. Don't chase it though. Let's see. All right, so this SPX node should be supportive of price even though we're overshooting it. So maybe you see a nice little zip back up into the 747 because it is it's very, like, it's a big magnet towards price. Okay, so they even slip in the SPY node to help it out a little bit. SPX pumping up just a smidge. Okay, nice little green candle. But again, you're still facing this large ceiling on SPY. So, ceiling on Qs, ceiling on SPY. You really just have a floor on SPX. You don't really have a ceiling. Okay, there's a nice little candle down. The 727 should hold at least a little bit. It's the biggest Qs node, like at or below spot. And then SPY has kind of an air pocket below 746, so you're going to hope it defends here. SPX slipped in the 7480 to be supportive of price. So let's see if we get some green candles. Okay, so a nice little pump on this 727. So here, 730 is a magnet, 747 a magnet, 75.25 is a magnet. So you don't really want to be short at this point. You want to wait for like maybe a 731 or a 730. Okay. So here, a big observation to make. QQQ high of day 1012, SPY high of day currently. So if you want to take a short, probably want to take it on the DAC. SPY is lighting up on the 749. Maybe the SPX King node will roll somewhere else, be indicative of a possible change in direction. But I mean, it looks like Qs might break through the 730. But again, be very interested in this QQQ Pika stack because it will be very resistive of price. Okay, so here you're going to get at least a little bit of a reaction off the 749, even if it does overshoot. 731, 732 will probably act as a ceiling along with this SPY node. SPX kind of faded out this 7515 ceiling, but this 7520 is still kind of here. So be observational. They might front run the reject on SPX. Okay, so nah, the move hasn't really happened. Let me just adjust the charts a little bit. Okay, so there's your overshoot. Starting to reject this QQQ node. Front ran the 7525 like they did earlier as well. So if they front run this node, why wouldn't they front run this node? Doesn't always happen. Does happen periodically though, and sometimes you just have to go along with it. Okay, now we look massively downside heavy. They add the 7515 for downside acceleration. 749 starting to cook. It might come back up into it. It's super strong. This Pika stack needs to fall off though. You need to push you need to go like 729 spot at least. Again, come back up. 749 is too big not to be kind of magnetic, but still leaning heavily downside with this Pika stack on QQQ. 7525. Like, we rejected it. Okay, we're probably gonna dump. 749, massive ceiling on SPY. Boom. Break 729, see Gulag. Boom, 727 starting to pop up. Like, okay, maybe this does get shorted. Again, massive ceiling on SPY. Can't break through it. Breaking through these nodes on Qs, like, man, maybe we're gonna nuke the deck. Nice little double high. Or a double top. My fault. But still front run this SPX node by 3. 749 still a strong ceiling. This like 727 node lighting up on Qs. Maybe it holds a third time. We'll see. Again, that Pika stack's just nuking price on Qs. Okay, they had a little 7510 bouncer, but still rejected 7515. Maybe we come down here and see 727 before we see a bounce. Okay. Came down. SPY pushed up on the dark pool. Dumped down. Came down up. You can barely see it, but there are this 748 nodes there a little bit on Atlas. Again, like you sell this 728. I mean, you're seeing 727. There's no doubt around it. Be careful though. 7500 on SPX. You could catch some nice longs here with this negative fuel on SPX. Yeah, I would definitely chance this. Especially node on Qs, node on SPY, node on SPX. You could definitely long this. Maybe 10 points. 7 points. I would be careful. Maybe, yeah, 731 upside, 75.25 upside. So maybe you do get like 10 points. Oh, there's your 10 points. Okay, be careful, be careful. So here, you put in this nasty candle on Qs. Yeah, maybe this nukes. Uh-oh. Oh. See you later. Okay, again, still rejecting a 748 on SPY. So, again, very interested. Like, I feel like they're gonna... 728's a big inflection point, but SPY looks like Here, let's see what they do with this dark pool. They're gonna... Okay, so kind of selling the dark pool. 7505 is very strongly upside looking though, but I want to see what happens. I definitely think you could probably take a short off to 748. Okay, so it's working. It's working really well. It's working really well. Okay, so still like the 728s are ceiling on Qs, right? So like we're probably gonna dump below it, especially because like we used it as support a couple times, and then now it's our ceiling. Yo, dump, bro. So sell 7,500 here. You see lower, boom, Q's nuking. Again, you could probably short the 7505. I still think the 728 holds as the ceiling, and SPY is still nuking. So it just looks heavy downside. Holy red. I don't even know if 747 will hold. We'll see. Yeah, there's the downside you're looking for. Alright, well, maybe you get like a 7490 bounce. There's no nodes really beside that. Oop. Oh. So I guess they ended up holding this bottom Qs and bottom SPY node, but there wasn't really any support on SPX. But still, like, there's all this negative gamma below this 7500. 747 looks kind of like a ceiling. 728 looks kind of like a ceiling. I don't know. It still looks kind of dumpy to me. Oh, they pop in the 726. Uh-oh. Are you going to sell it? Oh, okay. 727 comes back. Oh? Holy, I didn't realize shorts paid this hard on Qs, but yeah. Okay, I definitely... 74.95, 726 looks kind of supportive. Plunge protection, if you will. But again, okay, hold on. Ceiling, rug. Ceiling, rug. We need a little bit higher on Qs, but like if you get 728, short that, John. So boom, you're nuking. So here's where you cover your short from like up in here. Even up in here if you're short. Up in here, up in here. Boom, nice little pumper. Really big pumper. So eventually, like, this is what happens when you have this much negative gamma. Like, too many people short the bottom and you just get a nice little pumper. I'd definitely be shorting any of this positive gamma on Qs. I'm shorting. Okay, you get to 7510 roll up. That's like the most bearish thing I've ever seen. Just short it. Short this super hard. This is a ceiling. Because originally, like, 2 minutes ago, 7500 was your floor, right? So, okay, maybe we can see some higher. Maybe a 749 on SPY. Boom, they rolled up to 7510. There's your ceiling. Just short. Boom. Boom. SPX nuking. Yeah, Q says it's crazy wick. But SPX still seeing lower. And then, I mean, SPX rug, SPY, just massive ceiling Qs, rug, send it to 0. I mean, I think we sell through this 7490. We potentially see 7480. You could probably mock Lotto some longs, 7480, just because it's the bottom node exposure on SPX. Sometimes that works. Yeah, so boom. Sellers have buyer's remorse. They're like, okay, I want my shares back at 7480. But yeah, that's a pretty nice little recap. But I mean, basically, Q's massively weaker than SPY today. Even if you just look at the chart, it's pretty obvious. Maybe it's not as obvious as I thought. But I mean, SPY, nice double top at the ceiling, short. SPX rolls this floor into the ceiling. Full port shorts. Where was it? I don't remember. What if a ceiling flips above just, or a floor flips above to a ceiling, then short that, John. But yeah, that's today's recap. All right, I'll catch y'all tomorrow.